patron saint of the priest.
Correct. And these are Eucharistic meditations. It is so good. So it has 27, 28 lessons. Yes, 26, 27 lessons. So during our second section on the Eucharist, we will be taking at least one lesson every class from this book. So please buy it and start reading it. It changes your attitude when you are at Mass. This is a spiritual. Pardon? Yes. I think maybe you can get it on Amazon or EWTN website. Yes. So it's I think you look at the publisher. It is so because John Melvina is the patron saint for parishioner priests. He is so good. Because of his humility, God gave him wisdom to understand, to go deeper into the mystery of the Eucharist. But even with that deep knowledge, wisdom, he continued to say, I don't understand. Sometimes for us who have nothing, we say, So it is very, very, very good. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. Okay, so we continue with the Day of Atonement. In the second paragraph, the high priest first sacrificed. So this is what happened on the Day of Atonement. This is what took place. So the high priest first sacrificed a young bull for his own sins and those of the priestly line. Okay? So, as you hear in the letter to the Hebrews, all other high priests have to continue to sacrifice over and over again for their sins and for the sins of others. But Christ, the high priest, doesn't have to do that. He did that for us once and for all. Okay? So high priests had to do this every year, to sacrifice a bull for themselves and for the priestly line. After this, after sacrificing the bull, the high priest entered the Holy of Holies and performed certain rites, particularly that of sprinkling some of the bull's blood in the direction of the mercy seat. The mercy seat was part of the ark. Okay, we looked at that. Okay, so he sprinkled blood there. Why was that significant? Because God was supposed to be seated there. So it's like a reconciliation with God. Blood brings about reconciliation, atonement. Okay? There. So he then came out and they performed another ceremony in which a goat chosen by lot from a pair was sacrificed for the sins of the people. So sacrificed the bull, went in, sprinkled blood, the mercy seat, came out, sacrificed a goat. There were two goats. Then this goat sacrificed for the sins of the people was chosen by lot. The lot fell on one. That goat was sacrificed for the sins of the people. The second goat is going to perform another important rite. Okay? It's not left alone. So he then went back into the Holy of Holies with the blood of this animal, the goat, slaughtered, sacrificed, and they sprinkled it likewise at the mercy seat. So the priestly line, the high priest, and the priestly line are reconciled with God, and then he comes out, sacrifices a goat, and then the blood of the goat is sprinkled on the mercy seat, meaning that the people are reconciled with God. Okay? So there is that atoning aspect too. So he then came out again and anointed the altar with some of the blood of the bull and the goat. Okay? Coming out of the temple, he then laid his hands on the second of the two goats Get the one that was left, that wasn't sacrificed. The one which had not been sacrificed is symbolizing that the goat was being burdened with all the sins and faults, voluntary and involuntary, of the Israelites. So you've heard of the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what it is. Okay? Okay. So he would come, touches the goat, meaning that all the sins of Israel are loaded onto this goat. And then the goat was led by a young man away into the desert. Because demons live in the desert. So it's like a scene, you're coming from the desert, okay, go back there. Okay, demons are going to live there. So the goat was led by a young man into the desert and left it to wander there. Then the young man would come back, they do purification rites on him, and then Israel was pure. Sin has gone away. The goat has taken to the desert. Okay? Those were things that happened there. So this animal was then let out into the wilderness to fend for itself. The ceremony continued with biblical readings relevant to the feast and the recitation of various prayers. The high priest then put on solemn priestly garments and sacrificed 2 rams as a burnt offering, one for himself and one for the people, and then carried on the rest of the normal sacrifices, and after blessing the people, dismissed them. The Day of Atonement was the day on which Israel was reconciled with God. That's why it was very, very important. So every sinner, please show up. Okay? Why do we go to church on Sunday? To offer Mass. Why do we go to offer Mass? Or any other day? Why do we go to offer Mass?
To take our Eucharist into our
Why do we go to offer Mass?
worship. To God, to adore.
We should never forget this.
To adore Him.
We go to offer not because we are very good people. God, we are good. See, it's true. We're not like those people. Over here we are very good. Good people show up for Mass. Bad people in casinos drink. We come to Mass because we are that's why we come to Mass. And we hear those words over the cup, okay? Okay? This is the blood of the covenant, given up for many, for the forgiveness of sins. But we are very good people, God. So we should always be mindful of that. And if we are mindful of that, then we humble ourselves before the mystery. So Israel on the Day of Atonement knew that. Otherwise, how am I going to be reconciled if there is nothing to reconcile? I'm not a sinner. Father, don't get me wrong, I'm a good person. People say that even in confession.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. Even in confession, why did you come?
It's wrong to be outraged of the people that go to Mass, right?
Right?
It's bad. It's not good to be outraged of the people that go to Mass. Because I have co-workers that says, oh, I don't go to Mass because so-and-so does this. I'm like, that's why we're there.
Yes.
We can be better.
Yes. We don't go to church because we are very good people.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't need to go. I go because I have something to atone for. I have sins, otherwise the sacrifice is of no use, of no benefit to me, if there is nothing to reconcile. I have offended God and neighbor. That's why I need to go to atone for my sins. Okay? So whoever goes there with the attitude, I'm a very good person, is the Pharisee who looked at the Republican. Okay. So we have really to know that, okay? We have to be consciously aware of our sinfulness. So it's not by accident that Mass begins with a confession of sin. I confess to thee, O Lord. Before we offer the sacred mysteries, let us acknowledge. This doesn't mean let us talk about acknowledge. It's an acknowledgement. I have sinned. I take personal responsibility. I'm guilty and I'm here for remission of guilt. So that should be our attitude. That was the attitude of Israel. They have sinned. They are aware of their sinfulness. And so they come to be cleansed. Okay? So the Day of Atonement was the day on which Israel was reconciled with God. It restored to the Hebrew nation its status of being a holy people through the forgiveness of everything which could have separated them from their God. That is, whatever sins they had committed in the past year, which remained unpardoned. So it's not by accident that one of the 7 precepts of the church is that every adult Catholic should go to confession at least once a year. This, our Day of Atonement, does not pass away, at least in the pilgrim step. We can go and atone any time. Okay? At least once a year. Just to think about this. These people did it. The bulls of, the blood of bulls and goats and whatever doesn't take our sin. But it was symbolic of what the atoning sacrifice of Jesus Christ would do to take away sin. So we have the reality of which they celebrate. And so that's why we have to take these reconciliation services, liturgies. The word service is very Protestant. We call them liturgies, service. Liturgies, our penitential liturgies, like during Lent or during Advent, they have to be taken very seriously. Because that's where we gather as people of God, in a communal way. That's why the church encourages us to have those communal penitential rites, liturgies.
You were asking earlier, we can do, let's say, confession or baptism for normal sins. But when I was looking for the sins, I saw 7 mortal sins. What does 7 mean? Or is it?
No, 7 mortal sins. No, usually they say 7 deadly sins.
Oh, 7
Yeah,
deadly
sin can be, when you read the catechism, it can be grouped according differently.
Okay.
But it all comes back to basically violation of the commandments. Okay. So the best way to look at sin is to look at the 10 commandments.
Okay.
And all the deadly sins like lust, gluttony, whatever. It's basically violation of either one of the aspects of the 10 commandments.
Okay.
Because the 10 commandments are detailed in a system. There are different acts of examination of conscience. It's always very important to examine our consciences before we go to confession. So there's a website, beginning Catholic.com. So there they have a detailed examination of conscience following the 10 commandments and the 7 precepts of the church.
I have a question kind of off topic. When we're talking about the new use of the CE when they're using BCE, right? So they call it common area, and before common area. If we, because secular society is ushering this in, and we're going to start seeing this a lot in the media. They're going to start calling it this. It seems like a mortal sin that we would start using this, because then we're separating God and
No, what happens to us is not really like a mortal sin per se, but what happens to us is this, okay, that because we're not sometimes very careful, we are simply swallowed up into the language of the secular world. Remember that this is what the devil does, okay? The devil hijacks the agenda of God. So what secularism does, this is what we might call them agents of evil, what they do is to hijack and take over the language of the church. For example, when they take over the language of rights, you hear even Catholics say, well they talk about abortion rights, okay, as if that is normal. But they took over the language of rights. Okay?
right, but
and
we didn't accept that as a church. But at what point in 10 years from now, if the Vatican and people start using that as a commonality because it's just easier if we all use one phrase, that would seem blasphemous. We start using that.
It's,
I mean,
it may not be like a personal sin, but I understand exactly what your concern is, because it is like this, okay? That we people of faith should be the one transforming society. But in the end, society transforms us,
but if we accept it,
and we just walk into it.
but we shouldn't accept it.
No, we shouldn't accept it.
Especially this one.
But look at it from this point of view. Okay? How does it happen that the US, which is, if you take into account Protestants and Catholics and everybody, at least the people who profess to be Christians, they are like 80%, 70% of the people in the US, at least they profess to be Christians. But all are crying for, because the 10 Commandments are being removed from public places or whatever, in courthouses. Who is doing it?
Yeah, 10-20%.
Who is doing it? You will discover that it's Christians. Okay? Because of lack of personal conviction of what we actually believe in. Look at the biggest issue, abortion. Okay? You will even encounter a particular priest, not many but some priests, who will tell you that, well, we are not single issue people. Really? Who told you we are one single whatever? All we are is that Christians should be reasonable. And there cannot be reason without life. It's that simple. So it's not just an issue among issues. It is the central reality of what it means to be. If one is non-existence, then there is no issue to talk about. There are no issues. Okay? So even us can argue, no, we are single issue people. No, we are not. Life is not just an issue among issues. No. Life is the. Okay? Because if you talk about social organization, if you talk about immigration, you can't migrate when you are deaf. Or for me, it's not about life, it's about immigration. How are you going to do it? For me, it's not about issue or whatever, it's the economy. Okay, the economy, money for the dead. Did you hear? I think this was a true story. I don't know whether it was, people tell stories, but I can't remember exactly what, but I think it was true. The man died, man was married, husband. He died, but before he died, he told his wife, okay, that they had to share the money. And he told the wife to bury him with his money, his share. And I think it's possible because there is also a man or a woman in England, her dog, basically, she died and she left her inheritance in law firms to the dogs. And these were millions of pounds. Okay. You have human beings, but no, my money goes to my dog. The dog doesn't even know. that it is money. The dog can't call it money. He doesn't know. So the man died. And you know what his wife did? Okay, we share, let's say they had $10 million. The woman takes 5, the man takes 5. And so before they buried the man, they crossed everything. The daughter saw her mother putting a piece of paper in the yeah, she wrote a check.
For the Marxists.
But what Satan is saying is something very serious. Yeah? Because we people of faith get swallowed up into popular or whatever secular culture, and we become secular even without noticing it. In other words, basically the culture transforms the faith, which is impossible. So in the end, the faith dies and we have nothing. That's what happened in Europe. The churches, many churches there are for tourists. It is a means of livelihood. You know, people, tourists come, they talk about it. It's not about worship, at least in many areas. The US hasn't gone that far. People worship, but we can't say that what happened in Europe can't happen to us. Where basically faith becomes fully identified with culture, but it's impossible. So therefore one has to die and the other one has to thrive. So, but in the US at least there are many people fighting, this kind of thing. So we still have to count our blessings, but we can't be comfortable. Oftentimes we are very comfortable. And in some very subtle ways. Sometimes we may say, oh well, but look at the way we dress coming to Mass. There's no difference between a person going to Mass and going to Smith to do shopping.
There's a beach. Why won't the church say something about them?
But they do.
They do, but we have to also remember, who is the church? It's us. We are the church. Yeah, but you're saying that the priests at least should do a better job of basically, yes, that's true. To make people that this is really something.
I've heard of churches in the Philippines where the priests won't allow them to take as there is very ridiculous. So the priests around the church, they point it out and they tell you have, or they have extra,
Yes.
and they make you work it.
Yeah, but that's how we lose that sense of the holy presence, and then everything becomes, there's no difference between going to the park and the church. So that's how reverence dies, and basically we lose sight of the mystery. And then when these things come like language and whatever, we are already swallowed up into it. So it's a very dangerous trend, and we have to be keen and aware of these things. But again, you say, sometimes it's very disturbing. You're talking about, people coming, telling people, what if it's the priest who comes in sandals and jeans and whatever? Like a part of our formation, at least at the seminary in Columbus, Ohio, we're not supposed to wear jeans in the chapel when you go to church, the chapel, at Mass or prayers. No jeans. I remember one time at St. Elizabeth, one of the, I think it was Christos, the lady who was in charge of the extraordinary ministers. She told one lady that no jeans when you're going to distribute Holy Communion. And this was not a young girl. This was a woman, not a girl. And she said, My jeans are expensive. They're $250.
The whole thing is
$250. Yes, they're expensive.
Well, my experts.
This is the mentality. Okay? So briefly, the feast of dedication. You hear this mostly, in these days, Hanukkah. This was a celebration of the day when Judas Maccabeus cleansed the temple of Jerusalem, 3 years after it had been profaned by Antiochus Epiphanes. Judas determined that this great event should be commemorated every year on the 25th of the month Chislev, that's December. So basically what happened, the books in the Bible, 1st and 2nd Maccabees. Protestant Bibles don't have those books. So in this year, during those years, 167 BC and around that time, the Greeks basically invaded the land of Palestine. And then they erected a statue of a Greek god in the sanctuary of the temple. So the Jews refer to that as the abomination of desolation. In the house of God, to erect there a statue, a temple of a pagan god. It was so abominable. So the Jews revolted, and those were the Maccabean revolt. Okay? And then Judas Maccabeus and his men basically kicked out the Greeks. And then, when they wouldn't basically raise down the temple, so they removed these statues, basically smashed them and whatever. Then they rededicated the temple to God. So that's where the day of dedication comes from. So on that day, sacrifices were offered in the temple. The processions took place with singing of hymns and psalms. The temple, synagogues, and houses displayed so many lights at this festival that it was known as the Festival of Lights. In our Lord's time, it was known by its Greek name of the Feast of Ankania, from the Greek Ankina, meaning inauguration. Okay? So, that is the Feast of Dedication. So, of course, you've had many in the history of Christianity, dedication of churches, dedication of temples, things like that. So whenever a temple is profaned, it must be rededicated. So some things have happened in some of our churches, and I think they need rededication. But that is the value of these feasts, okay? That this place was considered sacred. And so you don't take basically things that don't match. Everything that goes to the temple, including ourselves, has to be set apart for God's use. As St. Paul says, we're not our own. We are Christ's. We belong to Him. He bought us with His own blood. He purchased us with His own blood. So that is the Feast of Dedication. So next week we'll continue with other feasts. Okay, glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now. By the way, next week will be, Thursday will be, what will be the date?
I think it's June 3rd. June 1st.
Or June 3rd? First.
Thursday?
Thursday?
Next to Thursday.
Yes.
Okay, we have class. No, because we have the retreat, I think it begins the following.
Then one first.
So on the 8th, we won't have class.
No,
Next
one.
week?
Yeah.
It's going to be,
Around Matt, he's going to celebrate Matt. He's going to come.
Next week Thursday
He's going to be next Thursday.
Thursday.
at
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yes, 7 p.m.
Oh. Then which means for
He's
the
going to be ordained Wednesday.
yes.
But Thursday, he's going to come.
Yes. Oh yes, thank you for reminding. So basically for the next 2 weeks you have no class. Yes.
No, but yeah.
They have a.
Yes. Because the following week then we'll be going for our retreat.
so what happens next Thursday?
There is we will have the morning class.
We can.
But the evening class, because we have a deacon who will be ordained. No.
Miguel.
From St.
Miguel.
Those are St. Peter's. Yeah, so he will come here and we will have a mass for him because he did this pastoral year.
What time is the mass?
Yes. So we will not have a class next Thursday and the following Thursday.
We have morning class?
Yes, we'll have morning class next Thursday.
We'll figure something out.
Okay?
Mass.
So, but we will resume after 2 weeks. Okay? Yes.
Okay, can we have a Wednesday class?
By the way, get the book, please. Okay, glory be to the Father, to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and shall be, world without end. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Thanks for coming. See you after 2 weeks.
Tuesday.